Hi everybody. Thank y'all so much for your patience. I am so sorry that I had to keep rescheduling the live. I am at work today, so I had to do this during my break. And the intention was to just come on here really quick just to show you all unleavened French toast. And things coming up with work and home and balancing everything, so I got delayed. But thank you all so much for bearing with me here. I'm not going to keep you all long. The intention is to not keep you all too long, and I really can't because I only got 15 minutes. But that makes it better because it shows that we can make this real quick. All right. How are y'all doing? Shalom, shalom, good morning, happy greater light. Who we got in here? I figured out how to schedule the live as well, so that's an awesome feature. Okay, so let's get started. I already made my son a French toast from bread that I made last night. So I already got my pan going with, so I cooked some in the pan. Because these are authentic stainless steel, I usually put a little salt on it to season it to make sure nothing sticks to it. I have my cast iron pan because we're going to make the dough and cook the bread and then make the French toast. So I have a cup of einkorn flour, a little bit of water, and just a little bit of salt. It doesn't need too much. We want the bread to be plain because the flavor is going to come from our custard. So for the custard, the reason this is plant-based unleavened unleavened French toast is because we're using chickpea flour. So here's the custard. Like I said, I already made some this morning. And what's in here is about a tablespoon of chickpea flour. Chickpea flour looks like this. Tablespoon of chickpea flour. Then, sorry y'all, I was starting to put stuff away. Coconut milk. I prefer coconut milk, but because I've been keeping it in the fridge, it has turned into coconut cream. So I mixed the cream with hemp milk. If you have coconut milk and it's liquefied, just use that. So I would say about a half of a cup of the liquid went in there. And then you whisk it until the chickpea flour has dissolved. Hope y'all can see that. It's gonna look a lot like if you use regular eggs. If you've ever made French toast, you usually use regular eggs. All right, let me get my spoon. I'm excited for this one because I'm in the middle of doing other things. And I'm like, you know what? We're gonna come on live in the morning to give y'all, well, I wanted to do it a little bit earlier just in case y'all haven't had breakfast, but it's almost lunchtime, so maybe brunch. And I'm just whisking up, well, stirring the flour with the water to make our dough. My pan, my cast iron pan is getting hot. And like we did with the unleavened bread the other day, get it to a dough ball consistency. Again, this is einkorn flour. Chickpeas, please. Yes. You already know. Chickpeas in the building. Or Brenner breakfast for dinner. Yep. Yep. That used to be my favorite Brenner. I don't know why I don't run that back too often. I guess by dinner I want something savory, but I used to really enjoy Brenner. So just so I stay here in camera and not exiting over, I'm going to knead my dough right here on my chopping board. The dough's ready. So I'm going to sprinkle the chopping board with a little bit of the flour. Hope y'all can see that. We're going to knead it. Spread it around so it doesn't stick. And begin to knead it. The more I use this flour, the more beautiful it gets. And it's a requirement for us who observe unleavened bread, for us to eat unleavened bread every day. So this is another variation that we can do to make sure that we are consuming the unleavened bread as we should. Another inventive way to have it. It's really not that hard to replace either when you think outside the box. All right, so that's good. Just turning down my pan so I'm rolling it out. I'm pretty sure Nazir's ready for seconds. Now, if you've made unleavened bread and you want to use your leftover unleavened bread for this recipe, you can. I just recommend not putting that unleavened bread in the refrigerator, because it made it a little hard. Right, so just rolling that out real quick. I hear you, Nazir. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. Perfect. Okay. My pan is hot. Pan is nice and hot. Nice and hot. Not my coconut oil though. Got solid. Put a tiny bit of oil in the pan. Like I said, we don't need that much. I hope y'all can see that. So we're essentially cooking the bread twice. From the dough to the pan to cook it. And then from this pan to this pan to cook the French toast portion. Again, the French toast, the plant-based French toast is a tablespoon, give or take, of chickpea flour. I highly, highly recommend coconut milk. But if your coconut milk has turned into cream like mine, you can do half and half with any other plant milk. I have hemp milk here. And chickpea flour is interesting. So you're going to have to keep whisking it in order for it to dissolve. You don't want to see any crumbles of the chickpea in there. So you're going to keep whisking it. And I almost forgot. A splash of vanilla. And some sprinkles of cinnamon goes into this custard. Okay? And we're just letting this unleavened bread cook and get brown. Praying I can get it done before my break is over. All right. Give me one moment. You just need me to open up the water, Chicky? You know my hands are dirty. You gotta try to do this yourself, okay? All right, let's check on this bread. Beautiful, beautiful. Can y'all see that? It's brown. That's how you want it to look. This this part of my oven gets really, really hot, so that's why it's smoking, if y'all can see that. So I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna whisk it just a little bit more after I saw a piece. It's just gonna look like, almost like nutmeg. That's the consistency you're looking for, because we're not putting any eggs in it. All right, our bread is done. Bread is done. So I'm gonna dip it in the custard. And we don't need to cook the bread again. The bread is, you know, cooked. We just want to add that flavor from this custard and cook that down. So I'm letting it soak in there just a little bit. I've never made this recipe before, so I'm finding that when it was done, when I made it earlier, it didn't really look like I put anything on it, but Nazir punished it, so must have had something good on it. So I'm gonna let it sit in the custard a little bit while I wash my hands. And I'm gonna put a little bit more oil in this pan over here because it's nice and hot. Not too much oil. Yep, and hot. Sizzle dizzle. All right. We're gonna put it in there. We just want the custard to cook on top of this unleavened bread. Let that cook. It's super simple. We just made dough, unleavened bread, and French toast in about 15 minutes. I am thoroughly enjoying how quick these recipes are. Thoroughly. I'm going to go ahead and roll out another unleavened bread over here. I'm going to flip this. Don't try this at home, folks. Ooh, look at that. Pretty. It's not going to soak so much like you would find with regular bread because it's more dense. It's not as hollow. But still beautiful. Still a great option for us to do during this observation and memorial of our King and Savior. Okay. This other one. Alright, let's see. Look at that. Beautiful. Nazir, did you want more French toast? Alright. Could you hand me your plate, please? And it's done.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to put in the sink.
That was about 16 minutes. Alright, and Nazir, I just like to put agave on top. That's our syrup that we use. I'm going to cut it for y'all.
Cut. I'm a part of the story, Mama. Of Rob and my tea
Look at
can.
that. It's
and
crispy and still malleable. So y'all let me know how you like it. Definitely try this recipe. As you see, it took 15 minutes. I did this in my break. I put the flour in the bowl, rolled out the dough, cooked it, 15 minutes. Alright, so definitely let me know if you like this recipe. You could top it with fruit. You could top it with some nuts, a nut butter, whatever you want. And it's very nutritious, delicious French toast. Thank you all so much for bearing with me today. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day and continue to strive for the ancient path through your kitchen.
Bye.
Y'all have a great day. Shalom.
Shalom.